Hello and welcome back to Annie Explained. Today we will be recapping an anime named Skeleton Knight in Another World. Let's begin. As the story begins, a blonde petite lady named Lauren Louviert is about to be attacked by a group of bandits along with her maid Rita. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a knight in shining armor called Ark appears and kills the bandits in the blink of an eye. It is revealed that earlier that day Ark was transported into a fantasy world after falling asleep while playing the game. As he realizes his situation, he heads into a city to apply for work to get money. En route he sees his reflection in a stream and learns he is a skeleton and decides to disguise himself. Upon reaching the city he is told that he needs to slay 3 beasts in order to join, so he proceeds. That is where he saves the 2 girls from the bandits' hands. He then heads back to the city, acquires his license and lays low for now, enjoying the food of his new fantasy world. The next day Ark heads to a remote village in order to complete a quest. The job had been posted by Marka, who lives with her little sister Helena and her mother Siona. The quest involves protecting Marka as she collects medicinal herbs to help her mother with finances. While wandering around, Ark and Marka come across a little wounded creature. Ark heals its wounds and the creature becomes attached to him. He names her Panta and decides to keep her as a pet. Soon she finds the herb she's looking for but is met by a monster. Ark swiftly deals with it before taking Marka back. At the village, Marka is reunited with her mother, who has been worried sick. She thanks Ark for taking care of her daughter and gives him some herbs as a token of appreciation. Ark then heads back to the city along with Panta. As some time passes, Ark is on another quest clearing out a cave occupied by bandits. After dealing with them and heading out, he is attacked by the elf leader's daughter Ariane, who had mistaken Ark for a bandit who captured her kin. However, she stops after seeing Panta, who she states is a spirit creature with him, as they only trust good people. Ariane explains that she was trying to save some elves who were captured and were to be sold. Ark offers her help, but she refuses and runs away. Meanwhile, in Diento, a noble by the name of Tyron is furious over the failed assassination of Lauren. The next day, Ark tries to find Ariane when he stumbles upon Eudolin, Tyron's son, along with a group of bandits enslaving elves. Just as Ark is about to intervene, Ariane jumps out and finishes off the bandits. Sacred Eudolin takes an elf child hostage. She surrenders in order to save the child when suddenly Ark comes out and helps her. They rescue the children and Ark heals them. Amazed by his skills, Ariane decides to hire Ark despite her distaste for humans. After their alliance, Ark teleports them to Diento, where they meet her friend Donka. Donka informs them about the elves enslaved in the city. They decide to invade the slave merchant's den but find that all the bandits had been killed. As they look around, Ark is met with an animal girl ninja who attacks him. However, she ceases her attacks on Ark after seeing Panta. She leaves before telling him that there are 2 elves captured in Tyron's palace. Ark meets with the others as they rescue the captured elves and free them. Ark also informs them what the ninja told him. Donka decides to escort the elves to their city, whereas Ark and Ariane set out to the palace. The ninja watches over them as she hopes to meet Ark once again. As they enter the castle and kill the guards, they head to Tyron's chamber and save the elves from being violated. They free the elves before beating the shit out of Tyron. They loot their treasuries and take off. Ariane asks Ark to accompany her on her journey to help the rest of the elves. Ark reveals his appearance to her and tells her he had been cursed and was on his journey to cure himself, stating that if she was willing to travel with him he would be happy to do so as well. Ariane agrees and they decide to travel to the elf lands together. The next day, in Olav, the capital of the Rodent Kingdom, Carlin the king has a meeting with Sect and Dakars, his oldest and youngest son, and Uriarna, his daughter. Sect informs the king that the ones responsible for the attack from the previous night might have been caused by the elves, as there were rumors that Tyron was involved in elf slavery. Carlin is concerned over these allegations about the elven slaves. He orders Uriarna to head to Limbolt and mend their ties with the elves before the situation gets out of hand. Meanwhile, Ark and Ariane reach the gates of Lalatoya, which is an elf settlement. After negotiation with the elders, Ark is invited inside the settlement. Once there, Ariane's parents Dylan and Glenel invite him into their house. Ark partakes in their hospitality and indulges in a feast prepared by them. Ark also reveals his appearance and condition to them, and they accept Ark regardless. The next day, Ariane and Dylan head for the city of Maple to hear the elders debate about the situation with the Rodent Kingdom. Once there, Ariane informs her findings and the elders reconsider the treaty they had with the humans, as one of the nobles of the Rodent Kingdom had violated the treaty. Meanwhile, Glenel shows Ark around the village. In an attempt to gauge Ark's abilities, she has a sparring match with him. However, Ark is toyed with by her as she uses her magnificent swordsmanship to overpower him completely. She also teaches Ark about his weak points. After this, they return there where Ariane and Dylan lie in wait. They all have dinner together when Dylan suggests that Ark continues to provide support to them in exchange for information and access to a lake where his curse might be lifted. Before we continue, please take a moment to subscribe. Done? Well then let's continue. Later that night, Ark wonders if his appearance could be due to a curse. Out of curiosity, he tries anti-curse magic on himself and it brings back his hand. However, the effect wears off in a blink of an eye. The next day, Ark and Ariane make their way to the capital but are attacked by a pack of monsters who have the ability to create clones. Ark heads to fight the leader of the pack but notices a mind-controlling accessory on the beast. Ark destroys the item and the leader calls back its pack before leaving, and they decide to continue as well. Meanwhile, Uriarna makes her way to Limbolt when she is also attacked by the 6 hooded assailants. The group murders all the guards and even the princess in cold blood. Suddenly, Ark sprints from nowhere. He uses revival magic on the princess and her staff before leaving. As they wake up amazed that they were still breathing, they continue to Limbolt. Meanwhile, Ark and Ariane reach the capital and meet the ninja again. The ninja introduces herself as Chiom, a member of the Jinshin clan's 6 ninjas. She asks Ark to aid her in the quest to find her captured kin with information as a reward. Ark refuses, stating he was currently contracted with the elves, but Ariane agrees to help her as she feels Chiom's situation is similar to hers, and the 3 decide to attack the Etsit market. Meanwhile, at the castle, Dekars is furious that the haunted wolves were freed, and his attendant Centurion advises him to head to a safe house in case the princess is alive. Later that night, Ark, Ariane, and Chiom attack in the shadow of the night along with Gomen, who is one of the 6 ninjas. Ark and Gomen act as distractions while the others sneak in to free the captured. Chiom and Ariane enter the castle and start to free the slaves one by one. As they reunite, they see a mountain of corpses. The slaves explain that these were the bodies of the people who were killed while captured. Ark is enraged after learning this fact and destroys the market entirely after bringing the slaves outside using his magic. The next day, Chiom informs Ark and Ariane that sets them on their next journey to the Holy Revlon Empire. Meanwhile, Dekars is assassinated by Centurion as it is revealed he was working for Sect. Elsewhere at the imperial capital of the empire, the king is both displeased and pleased at the demise of Dekars and Uriarna. He speculates that Sect is the one responsible and asks for Fumba's progress in bringing ruin to Olav. And it is apparently progressing swiftly. By dusk, the group reaches a town and discusses how they need to be careful since elf slavery is allowed in the empire. They are then approached by Karsi, an elf monster researcher who had seen them during their travel. He asks for their help in capturing a worm-like monster for his study in exchange for the map of the empire and his book on monsters. The 2 accept the deal and head to the desert at dawn. As they head to the location, they are met by the worm. Ark intervenes and captures the monster. After completing their task, Ark and Ariane continue their journey. On their way, they discuss the possibility of coexisting between humans and elves. Elsewhere, Fumba is feeding humans to a beast he has kept in a pit. The duo soon arrives at a border town where they decide to split up to find information. Ariane gets intel about a mysterious fortress on the outskirts of the town, and they immediately teleport there. Once inside the fortress, Ariane locates a hidden stairway and they head down. They then encounter Fumba. Fumba hypnotizes Ariane and orders her to attack Ark. He uses Uncurse, but to no avail, but realizes that an imp is responsible for hypnotizing her. Ponda takes care of it, which causes Ariane to faint. Ark notices several rings around Fumba's waist and learns that he's the one who was controlling all those beasts. He starts slaying all monsters with the help of Chiom and Gomen, who happen to arrive. Cornered, Fumba calls for his most ferocious beast, a Hydra. Ark immediately teleports his team outside, who are shocked after witnessing the legendary beast. The dragon notices them and launches an attack, but they manage to evade it. Ariane wakes up and resolves to take revenge. Ark lets the girls handle Fumba and heads for the Hydra, which is on its way toward the town. Ark attacks the beast with multiple spells, but the beast recovers thanks to its regenerative ability. Ark then summons the fire beast of hell called Ifrit, and it manages to burn the dragon to a crisp. Meanwhile, the girls manage to ruin Fumba's ability to control more beasts, and Ariane sets him on fire. They regroup and receive a message from Donka, who informs them that the Rodan Kingdom has taken responsibility for the elven enslavement and will deal with those responsible. He also explains that this was all thanks to Uriarna's meeting with the Elf Elder. With things settled, Ariane, Chiom, and Ark head back to Lalatoya, and Ariane promises to take him to the hot springs to dispel his curse. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, then please consider liking and subscribing to AnnieCap Explained so you never miss any new updates. We will see you at the next one.